everyone, welcome to a game I'm about to play on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. This is my first recording of it, just downloaded some recording software, and we're just going to do some simple play testing here. I've been play testing with a Greninja Kingdra deck that recently has gotten some popularity from, I believe, Ryan Sablehouse got second place with it at a States, and I've been doing some play testing with a list that's pretty similar, maybe a card or two off from his, and it's been pretty impressive so far. So we're just getting a feel for the deck. We're going to go into a ranked match and just see, what we can't do with it. Hopefully, we'll be facing a one of the main archetypes in the meta right now, but a lot of times we're not really gonna see that. So let's see. And I can see that we have the advantage here, so it's probably going to be not a fantastic deck, but we will see what my opponent has. And okay, we got a pretty decent start here. We got a Sigilyph and a Horsey. That's kind of about as good of a start as you want. Maybe you can have an N instead of a Shauna, but at least we're gonna be able to get that Sigilyph down. I don't know that it's gonna matter here, but it looks like it might. My opponent might be playing some kind of Yveltal EX, Sableye EX deck. I'm sure that there is a Darkrai in there, and hopefully not a Garbodor. That would not be as fun, but we're going to go ahead and just focus on getting as many Froakies and Horsies, mainly Froakies, as down as possible so we can use that to knock out the Garbodor after a Tool Scrapper, and we're going to save our Dowsing Machine here. We could go for another Level Ball, but I really don't want to do that. And see, we get a town map here. We're going to go ahead and use that just so that we take prizes. We can take something good. Like you see, we got some supporters and some water energy, so those will come in handy right after we take a prize here and there. And we're just going to level ball here for another Froakie, and we're just going to place that down and pass in preparation for next turn, and hopefully we can start evolving. Now, the big thing here that I don't want to see is a Garbodor. We're pretty safe from, we got a Pokeball, so maybe this is a much less competitive deck than I thought. Pokeball, flip a coin, search. If heads, search for a Pokemon in your deck and reveal it. It's, in theory, a good card minus the flip. If you could just search for free, that'd be awesome. We also see a Charian come down. It looks like he grabbed a baby Yveltal with the Pokeball, and that has Oblivion Wing on it, and Oblivion Wing's actually pretty good against Sigilyph, especially if he can get the Muscle Band down, and we're going to see a Great Ball grabbing a Bouffalant here. So we're going to be facing a lot of non-EXs. I really don't like the Bouffalant just because of its Booffer ability kind of stops the Kingdra's attack with the triple bullet, the tri-bullet, and that makes it only do 10, so it's kind of placing one with tri-bullet's pretty good just because you can get it down to that 90, and you can hit it 3 times with Water Shuriken. But other than that, it's not too great. And we're just going to attach to Sigilyph and N here because he's going to knock out that Sigilyph first, and after that we kind of want to hang on to the N. So the water energy from the Sigilyph will go into the discard, so it's a good way to accelerate water energy into the discard. We're going to go ahead and put the Voltorb down. I'm not sure if we want to bench the Horsey just yet. I think I'm probably going to. And we're going to just put down the Frogadier here. Unfortunately, we did not get our Tropical Beach, so we really can't do anything. We could Ultra Ball here, discarding 2 water energies for a Greninja maybe. But I think we're going to wait to do that till next turn because we can't actually get into play here just in case of an end. We can save our Professor's Letter for later. I only play one of those, so I tend to like to use it when I really need it. But at least we know it's in the deck, so if maybe a Skyla comes up, we need a couple water energies. If we can use that instead of playing a risky, maybe like Colress or Shauna or something. I only play one Shauna just as kind of a vanilla supporter. Just it's not really as risky as playing a third copy of Colress in case you just draw into it early game, and it's not it's not a 4th Juniper, which really can cause problems for this deck up until the late game. It's a really good late game, but it's just, I like having it as a one-of for right now. It's kind of a spot that can be changed if it needs to be changed, and it's just a very vanilla supporter, which is what I really like about it. And here, we drew a Kingdra that's not really what we wanted to see per se. And I don't think we're going to see a Garbodor come down, so that's nice. So we can start getting a game plan for what we want to do here. It looks like he's going to go heavy on those Yveltal EXs, so I think I'm going to want to probably Ultra Ball and get down a Kingdra here is probably going to be my best bet. So I'm going to go ahead and Professor Letter for the 2 water energies. I could Ultra Ball for the Greninja and start spreading damage that way, but I really this thing's going down in 2 turns, so I really want to be prepared to come up and at least start try bulleting, because Yveltal really, I mean, it can 2-shot Kingdra with a lot of stuff on it, with a lot of energy on it, but that's a lot of eggs to put in one basket. And as you see here, we get the draw the level ball. Unfortunately, our other Frogadier is prized. We do a rare candy and a dowsing machine though, so I could dowsing machine here, but there's not really a target that I want. So I think I'm just going to level ball and grab the Electrode just to have for later. And we also have a Chorus for next turn. Maybe we'll top deck a stage 2 like we did last turn, but we do have a Chorus here, which is going to grab us at least 9 cards. Par, bar, a knockout from my opponent, which I don't see possible. So we're just going to hold that there. I think we're going to save the end for later, because this deck does usually go down a couple prizes before anything really comes out of it. So we're just going to see my opponent. He doesn't get any darkness energy into this card pile, and you can see that here, due to playing Great Ball, and Pokeball, if he had played Ultra Ball, he probably would have gotten more water energy or dark energy in the discard pile. And so that's kind of unfortunate for him. And we do pull the Kingdra here. That is pretty important, as next turn we're going to be able to go up and we're going to be able to triple laser here and start getting damage on those Yveltals. Now, I really would like to see a Tool Scrapper in the next turn or two just to get rid of that Rocky Helmet, because that Rocky Helmet damage does add up. And here we get an excellent hand. We're going to be able to get 2 Greninjas into play. Unfortunately, we did not draw a supporter, but that is not what I'm super worried about right now. I can do quite a bit with this hand, and I I opted to go ahead and involve the second Greninja instead of the Kingdra, just because the Greninjas will be more important in the short term. And I think 30 damage here. It's kind of a tough situation just because the Yveltals don't have any damage on him, and so I think whichever one I'm going to Water Shuriken here, he wouldn't actually attach to next turn. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do the even 30 with the Tri-Bullet next turn and go ahead and put the 30 damage on the baby Yveltal, because that's going to be what he's attacking with, and I'm actually going to not Water Shuriken here. I'm going to attach to the Kingdra just so we have something for sure for next turn and go ahead and pass. That way I get less damage from Rocky Helmet, and it makes the Yveltals, it makes it harder for the Yveltals to take out a Kingdra. So here we see a Tierno. It'd be interesting to see the ruling if you can play 4 Tierno and there comes a potion. That's what I hate about these little decks like this, is just potions after potions after potions, and they completely screw up your math. But I don't know if you can play 4 Tierno and 4 Sharon in the same deck. You can't do that with Juniper and Sycamore. I'm not 100% sure why you actually want to. That's a lot of discard. I mean, you go through your deck in just a few turns. Here we see an Ultra Ball, and this isn't really a fantastic spot. I've got 4 water energy into the discard, so maybe if I can top deck a water next turn, I can get to a better spot. But we're definitely gonna. I actually don't think I'm gonna attack that Yveltal. Let's see. If he come back and put 30 on me, 20 from the Rock Helmet, that puts me on a 90. And so an Evil Ball would do a base 80. So 80 and yeah, it's that. I think that'll work. We're just gonna go ahead and try bullet here, both of the attackers and the Yveltal. And unfortunately, we are gonna take that Rock Helmet damage, which is not fun. I mean, it's like that's what makes this deck good in the metagame. Is a lot of the cards that you're going to see in these kind of decks are actually really difficult. You're going to see a ton of potions, which is going to make your math harder. And then the worst card that you see in these kind of decks is Champions Festival. I mean, that card ruins this deck if they can keep it out. We only played 2 Tropical Beach and a Dowsing Machine. It's kind of hard to hit the Tropical Beach because I only played 2 Skyless. So that Championships Festival really can give me a hard time, especially if they play it in high numbers. Now, I guess last turn I could have Ultra Ball, discarding 2 of the Pokemon there, and I probably would have gone and put a Froakie on the bench. and then super rotted it back in, putting me down to 1 card, and then I could magnetic draw. That was probably the better play here, but we're going to see the Yveltal come up. I'm not sure why he attached to this bench one unless he's got an energy switch, but we see a Crushing Hammer here and a Tails, which is rather important, seeing as I don't have an energy. Usually it's not terribly important, but that one was. But this magnetic draw is going to save us this turn, especially if we can draw something we can put down. And we did. We got a rare candy, so that's going to be really big. So we can rare candy into Kingdra here, and this is going to allow us for a full magnetic draw of 4, and hopefully we'll see a supporter here, and we can also leave that baby Yveltal alone now. I feel comfortable leaving that alone since it's not attacking. I'm not sure why he switched and passed. Maybe he was afraid of it being knocked out. So that's definitely a good thing for us here, and I think that we're going to go ahead and shovel back in the Horsey, the Kingdra, and the Greninja. I have a second Sigilif in the deck, but just the way this matchup is running, I'm not sure I'm going to see a point where I'm going to need to stall him out. Okay, we get a Water and a Chorus here. That's really big, and we also get this Tool Scrapper. And what is this? This is a Rock Helmet, so we're gonna go ahead and get rid of the Rock Helmets. I hate the Rock Helmets. And I guess we can Water Shuriken here. I don't see any reason to put it on anything besides maybe the... I think we're just going to go ahead and put it on the Yveltal that's active. That way it kind of puts more pressure on. It's going to be up to 90. And wow, okay. Yeah, not much we can do with this hand until next turn. We can get a Greninja out and then end for a full 6 because we're not going to take any knockouts here, but we're just going to spread some damage. I'm going to hold the beach for right now just because I'm in a pretty good situation where I want to be, and my opponent is not. So we don't want to give him access to that beach for right now. And here we see a Crushing Hammer. It should be pretty irrelevant. He gets a heads. So, I mean, one of my water energies for next turn is going to need to go to grabbing or attacking with Kingdra instead of having the Water Shuriken. But, I mean, we've still got... there's 6, so we still have 2 water energies left in deck and 9 cards in my deck, so I'm hopeful that we can hit one next turn. That's really all we need to really do here, and I might knock the Yveltal out next turn. I'm not 100% sure yet. It could go either way. He's got a DCE and a Dark, so probably just to conserve my Kingdra, but for another turn, unless, I mean, if he wants to Darkness Blade, that's a complete waste of his attachment for next turn. When I can just come back with the other Kingdra and attack it, and I'll have a fresh deck full of water energies as well. So I think that's the play here, as long as we can hit the water here. And now we got 3 Greninja and 2 Kingdra. I'm going to discard the other set of Greninjas since we shouldn't need them. I'm just going to fail that. The third Kingdra might come into play, but it's not looking too likely. I'm going to put the beach down at this point just to thin a card out. And we do hit the water energy here, so that's definitely pretty important. Unfortunately, we didn't hit any Water Shuriken target or Water Shuriken waters, so we're not going to be able to do that turn, but we will next turn. We might end up using our Dowsing Machine just to draw a really strong hand with Chorus, especially if he puts down 1 or 2 more Pokemon here. And I think, let's see if I've used a Juniper or not. I have used a Juniper, and so I'm going to go ahead and just take a Juniper and a Water, even though I might end next turn, or I might Chorus next turn, just to have the Juniper back in my deck. Really is all I'm focused on right now, because late game when you shuffle back in 9 waters, 10 waters, and you draw your deck out with Juniper, and it gives you 9 cards to work with here, and I think it has 60 on it, so 3 Water Shurikens would knock that out, and that would probably be 2 Water Shurikens and a Tri-Laser. So that's what I think we're going to go ahead and do here, because the Yveltal is not really going to be too scary, and especially after a Tri-Laser or 2, I can knock that thing out completely. So we're just going to do that because that's the only thing with energy on it, and we're just going to Dowsing Machine for the Chorus here, and we should see some water energy coming out. See, there it is. And we're just going to go ahead and Water Shuriken that again, and it's going to get knocked out by a Tri-Bullet. And let me see how many waters I have in the discard. I have 2. So I'm definitely going to want to Water Shuriken the active Yveltal this turn, just in preparation for next turn. I'm actually pretty lucky my opponent did not choose to do that, because then that saves me a Kingdra. So I mean, we're in full control of this game, and I would be very surprised if we actually lost here. And we're just going to go ahead and put 3 on the Sableye, because it's going to be a lot easier to knock out the Sableye than it is the Bouffalant. So it just gives us more options here, and I think I'm going to take the water this turn. I could have taken the end, but that wouldn't have given me very many cards here. And my main focus, I think I can actually win the game next turn, honestly, with the hand that I have. He has 90 on that thing, and I Water Shuriken twice to the Sableye. Yeah, it's game. It's game over next turn. A 3-prize turn is not uncommon here, and that's the beauty in that town map, is I can prepare for the next turn. Actually, we're going to need one more water energy here to be able to pull this off, but that shouldn't be too hard. I have 6 cards in deck, so I mean it's game over just right here. There, I top deck the water energy, so we're going to go ahead and Water Shuriken the Sableye twice to knock it out, and then finish off the Yveltal with Tribal, and that's going to be game here. I guess we'll pick up the Frog Ninja, the stage, the Frogadier, and then we're gonna Juniper here, and we didn't really draw anything, so we're just going to Dragon Vortex for 120, and that's going to be game. So 3 prizes in 1 turn. As you can see, this deck is very strong. My opponent, he took a couple early prizes, but like I said, those were prizes that I meant for him to take. I had planned out, I had responses ready, and that's going to be the end of the game. So thank you guys for watching.